What is the meaning of life? This question resonates like a quiet echo in the chambers of the human heart, surfacing unexpectedly in moments of solitude and reflection. Often it whispers to us in the depths of sleepless nights or amid the weight of daily exhaustion. It emerges when we experience both triumph and loss, pushing us to confront our purpose in a world brimming with uncertainty. The quest for answers is universal, transcending philosophical debate and inviting every individual to grapple with their existence. We find ourselves pondering not just our origins but our ultimate purpose, searching for a thread that connects our fleeting moments to something greater. Yet, the overwhelming nature of this inquiry can lead to paralysis. The search for meaning often feels like a daunting expedition into the unknown. Yet the ancient Stoics offer a comforting perspective. They champion the idea that the search is not about discovering answers in distant realms, but rather creating meaning amidst the minutiae of daily life. The Stoic approach emphasizes that meaning emerges from our choices, actions, and how we uphold our virtues, reminding us that it is within our ability to shape our circumstances rather than be shaped by them. Delving deeper into Stoic philosophy reveals that the desire for purpose is intricately woven into the fabric of our humanity. Our unique capacity for reason compels us to reflect on our existence. We question our struggles, seek insights, and yearn for understanding, each moment prompting us to engage with the very essence of life. This pursuit intensifies during hardship, revealing the raw edges of our soul and prompting profound contemplation. These trials become fertile ground for growth, allowing us to redefine suffering and struggle, shifting our perspective to see them not as burdens, but as gateways to a richer understanding of what it means to be alive. Ultimately, embracing the Stoic perspective empowers us to view life's meaning as an ongoing creation. Each decision we make, from the mundane to the monumental, contributes to the masterpiece of our existence. We are not passive recipients of life's meaning, but active participants crafting a narrative that reflects our values and aspirations. With every moment spent seeking wisdom, nurturing resilience, and practicing mindfulness, we sculpt our purpose. In this unfolding journey, we realize that the meaning of life isn't an elusive destination but a continuous, transformative process of becoming and creating. Let's take the example of a successful businessman named John. John has it all, or so it seems. He has a lucrative career, a picture-perfect family, a luxurious home, and a social status that many would envy. On the surface, it looks like John has found the meaning of life in success and material wealth. But beneath the surface, something else is going on. Each night, as John lays in his comfortable bed, he feels a sense of emptiness gnawing at him. Despite all his achievements, he finds himself restless, asking the same haunting question. Is this it? Is this what life is all about? John's story is far from unique. Many of us fall into the trap of believing that external achievements, whether it's wealth, fame, or power, will fill the void and provide our lives with meaning. But the Stoics recognize this as an illusion. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, warned us about the fleeting nature of external things. He likened the pursuit of wealth and status to chasing the wind. No matter how much you accumulate, it will never satisfy the deeper need for purpose. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This captures the essence of why people like John suffer. They imagine that accumulating more money, more accolades, more recognition will finally give their life meaning. But no amount of external success can fill the internal void. So where does that leave us? If the pursuit of external success won't lead to lasting fulfillment, where should we turn in our search for meaning? Living for applause, the danger of external validation. This leads us to another common trap. Living for external validation. We've all seen it, or perhaps even experienced it ourselves. The person whose sense of self-worth is entirely dependent on the approval and praise of others. Take the example of a world-class athlete. From the outside, it seems like they have everything: fame, fortune, and the adoration of millions. But behind the scenes, there's a different story. This athlete's entire sense of identity and self-worth is wrapped up in their ability to perform at the highest level. Every win feeds their ego, but every loss shakes them to the core. What happens when the cheering stops? What happens when they are no longer in the spotlight? The Stoics warned us about this exact danger. If we attach our sense of meaning to things beyond our control, such as the opinions of others or external accolades, we set ourselves up for inevitable disappointment. The truth is, we cannot control how others perceive us. We cannot control whether we will always be successful, or whether life will continue to provide us with praise and recognition. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, taught that we must focus on what is within our control: our thoughts, actions, and character. External validation is fleeting. It can be here one day and gone the next. But the strength of our character, the virtues we cultivate, and the choices we make each day, that is where true meaning is found. The Stoics believed that the key to finding true meaning in life wasn't by looking outward, but by turning inward. This is a crucial shift in thinking, one that can fundamentally transform how we approach life's biggest questions. When we stop seeking meaning in the external world, in things beyond our control, and start focusing on our internal world, our values, thoughts, and actions, something profound begins to happen: the dichotomy of control. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This concept, introduced by Epictetus, encourages us to distinguish between the things we can control and the things we cannot. According to the Stoics, the only things truly within our control are our thoughts, our actions, and our responses to external events. Everything else, what people think of us, our circumstances, our success or failure in the eyes of the world, is beyond our control. By focusing only on what we can control, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration that come with trying to change the uncontrollable. This is the first step toward finding true meaning. We realize that we cannot dictate the events of the world, but we can dictate how we react to them. Meaning, then, comes not from what happens to us, but from how we choose to interpret and respond to life's challenges. Imagine for a moment that you are a ship captain caught in a storm at sea. The wind is howling, the waves are crashing, and the ship is being tossed around by forces far beyond your control. In that moment, you have a choice. You can either panic and despair over the storm, something you cannot change, or you can focus on what you can do. Steer the ship, adjust the sails, and guide your crew to safety. The storm is not within your control, but your response to it is. This analogy reflects life itself. Life will inevitably throw storms your way, challenges, setbacks, and even tragedies. But the Stoics teach us that our power lies in how we navigate those storms. It is in these moments, when we focus on our actions and reactions, that we begin to find meaning. The storm, the external circumstances, are not where we find purpose. Purpose is found in our resilience, our courage, and our ability to steer our own ship, no matter the conditions. The inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, often spoke of the concept of the inner citadel, a mental fortress that we can retreat to in times of trouble. This inner citadel represents our inner strength, our ability to remain unshaken by the chaos of the outside world. No matter what happens around us, whether it's success, failure, praise, or criticism, we can retreat to this inner citadel and find peace. In his Meditations, Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This statement captures the essence of the Stoic approach to meaning. When we stop chasing external validation and start building our inner strength, we discover that true meaning is found not in what happens to us, but in how we respond to life. Building your inner citadel requires practice. It's about training your mind to remain calm and focused, even when life feels chaotic. It's about developing the discipline to detach from the things you cannot control and focus on what you can. Over time, as your inner citadel grows stronger, you'll find that life's ups and downs no longer have the power to disturb your peace. But how do we cultivate this inner strength? How do we begin the process of turning inward and building our inner citadel? The Stoics offer several practical strategies that we can incorporate into our daily lives. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy to be studied. It's a way of life, a set of practical tools that can help us navigate the complexities of existence. To the Stoics, philosophy was not an intellectual exercise, but a means of living better, more meaningful lives. Let's explore some of the key Stoic practices that can help us create meaning in our day-to-day existence. On daily reflection. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is the habit of daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on your actions. Ask yourself, did I live according to my values today? Did I act with virtue? This practice helps keep you aligned with what truly matters and allows you to learn from your mistakes. Seneca often spoke of the importance of self-reflection. He believed that by reflecting on our actions each day, we could grow in wisdom and become better versions of ourselves. Reflection helps us to pause, reassess, and make conscious decisions to live more meaningful lives. Here's how you can incorporate this practice into your routine. Before bed, sit in a quiet space and replay the events of the day in your mind. Ask yourself, where did I act with wisdom? Where did I fall short? Consider how you can improve tomorrow. What adjustments can you make to live more in alignment with your values? By consistently engaging in this practice, you'll find that your sense of meaning deepens as you become more aware of how your actions contribute to your purpose. Negative visualization. Another key Stoic practice is negative visualization, the practice of imagining worst-case scenarios. This might sound counterintuitive at first. Why would we want to dwell on negative outcomes? But the purpose of negative visualization isn't to make ourselves miserable. Rather, it's a way to prepare for life's inevitable challenges and to cultivate gratitude for the things we often take for granted. For example, think about the people you love most. Now imagine for a moment what life would be like without them. This might bring a wave of sadness, but it also serves as a reminder of how precious those relationships are. The next time you see those people, you're likely to appreciate them even more because you've taken the time to reflect on the fact that nothing in life is guaranteed. Negative visualization helps us develop a mindset of resilience. By considering the possibility of loss or hardship, we mentally prepare ourselves for whatever life might throw our way. And when challenges do arise, we're less likely to be caught off guard or overwhelmed. The art of journaling. One of the most famous Stoic texts is Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, which is essentially a journal filled with his personal reflections on life, virtue, and purpose. Journaling was a central practice for Marcus, as it allowed him to clarify his thoughts, examine his actions, and remind himself of the Stoic principles he aimed to live by. You can do the same. Journaling is a powerful way to process your emotions, reflect on your actions, and track your growth over time. It helps you stay grounded and focused on your larger goals. Here's how you can start. Set aside 10-15 minutes each morning or evening to write in a journal. Reflect on the challenges you're facing and how you can apply Stoic principles to overcome them. Use this time to reconnect with your purpose and remind yourself of the things that truly matter. Over time, journaling becomes a tool for self-discovery. It helps you gain clarity on what gives your life meaning and how you can continue to live in alignment with that purpose. For focusing on the present moment. The Stoics believed that the present moment is the only reality we truly have. Life isn't happening somewhere off in the distant future. It's happening right here, right now. When we focus too much on the future or dwell on the past, we lose sight of the present moment, which is where life's true meaning resides. Epictetus once said, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" This question is a reminder that we cannot afford to postpone living meaningfully. The time to live with purpose is now, in this moment. By training ourselves to be present, we begin to experience life more fully. We notice the beauty in small, everyday moments. We feel a deeper sense of connection to the world around us. And perhaps most importantly, we realize that the search for meaning isn't something that will be fulfilled in some distant future. It's something we create in each present moment. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the idea that the ultimate meaning in life comes from living virtuously. The Stoics believe that virtue is the only true good, and that it is through cultivating virtue that we find lasting fulfillment. But what exactly does it mean to live a virtuous life? And how does virtue contribute to finding meaning? The 4 Stoic virtues. The Stoics emphasized 4 cardinal virtues that serve as the foundation of a meaningful life. These virtues are wisdom, the ability to distinguish between what is good, bad, and indifferent. Wisdom helps us navigate life's complexities with clear judgment, allowing us to make decisions that align with our values. Courage, the strength to face adversity, pain, and fear without being overwhelmed. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. 3. Justice, the practice of fairness and kindness in all of our interactions with others. Justice is about treating others with respect, fulfilling our duties, and contributing to the greater good. Temperance, the ability to practice self-control and moderation. Temperance helps us avoid excess and remain grounded, ensuring that we don't become slaves to our desires. Living virtuously means striving to embody these 4 virtues in everything we do. The Stoics believed that by doing so, we create a life of purpose and meaning, regardless of external circumstances. After all, life's true value lies not in what happens to us, but in how we choose to respond to virtue as a daily practice. One of the key insights of Stoicism is that virtue isn't something we achieve once and for all. It's a daily practice. Each day we are faced with countless decisions, both big and small, that give us the opportunity to act in alignment with virtue or stray from it. Consider a typical day. You might encounter moments where you need to exercise patience with a difficult colleague, make a tough ethical decision, or resist the temptation to act impulsively. In each of these moments, you have a choice. Will you act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, or will you be swayed by fear, anger, or desire? By consciously choosing to live in accordance with virtue, we create meaning in our lives. It's not about achieving perfection, but about making consistent efforts to live by our values. Over time, these small daily decisions add up, shaping the course of our lives and giving us a sense of purpose, living for others. The Stoics also believe that part of living virtuously is recognizing our connection to others. We are not isolated individuals. We are part of a larger community, and our actions have an impact on those around us. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." This idea reflects the Stoic belief that living meaningfully means contributing to the greater good, not just serving our own self-interests. When we live with justice and compassion, we find meaning not only in our own lives but in our relationships and the ways we support others. This doesn't mean that we should ignore our own needs or sacrifice ourselves for others. Instead, it's about recognizing that a life lived in service to others, whether through kindness, fairness, or simply being a good friend or family member, adds richness and purpose to our existence. Another central theme in Stoic philosophy is the idea of acceptance. The Stoics believe that we must accept the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. This means coming to terms with the fact that life is often unpredictable, that things don't always go our way, and that suffering and hardship are inevitable, amor fati, loving fate. One of the most powerful Stoic concepts is amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This idea encourages us not only to accept the things that happen to us, but to embrace them fully as part of the natural order of the universe. In practical terms, amor fati means looking at every experience, whether good or bad, as an opportunity for growth. Instead of resisting or complaining about life's challenges, we approach them with a sense of gratitude, understanding that they are part of the journey. Let's take an example. Imagine you lose your job unexpectedly. At first, it's natural to feel upset or anxious, but instead of dwelling on the loss, the Stoic approach would be to ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this setback to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful. When we stop fighting against reality and start embracing it, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We realize that life's hardships are not obstacles but stepping stones toward personal growth and deeper meaning. Practicing gratitude. In addition to acceptance, the Stoics emphasize the importance of gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in what we lack or what's going wrong in our lives. But the Stoics taught that true contentment comes from appreciating what we already have. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the big things. It's about recognizing the beauty and value in the small, everyday moments, whether it's a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a conversation with a friend, or the simple fact that you're alive. There is always something to be grateful for. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, we begin to see life differently. Instead of focusing on what we're missing, we focus on the abundance that already exists. This shift not only brings us peace but also helps us find meaning in the present moment. The Stoics were pioneers of mindfulness long before it became a buzzword. They understood the importance of being fully present in the here and now, of grounding ourselves in the present moment instead of being lost in thoughts of the past or future. The present moment is all we have. The Stoics believe that the present moment is the only reality we can truly experience. The past is gone and the future is uncertain, but the present is here right now and it's within our control to make the most of it. Epictetus said, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" This is a call to action, a reminder that we cannot afford to waste the present moment waiting for some future condition to bring us happiness or meaning. Meaning is something we create now, in this very moment, mindfulness in action. Stoic mindfulness isn't about sitting in meditation for hours on end. It's about being present and aware in everything you do. Whether you're working, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking a walk, mindfulness means fully engaging with the moment, without distraction or judgment. Here are some ways to practice Stoic mindfulness in your daily life. Focus on your breathing. Throughout the day, take a few moments to focus on your breath. This simple practice can help you stay grounded and bring your attention back to the present moment. Engage fully in tasks. Whether you're washing dishes, writing an email, or having a conversation, try to give your full attention to the task at hand. This helps you stay present and appreciate each moment. Let go of distractions. In today's world, it's easy to get distracted by technology, worries, and constant noise. Practice being aware of when you're distracted and gently guide your attention back to the present. By practicing mindfulness, we become more connected to our lives. We stop rushing through the days, waiting for some distant future to bring meaning, and instead find meaning in the act of living itself. As we reach the end of this exploration, the question remains, what is the meaning of life? The Stoics would tell us that life's meaning isn't something that can be handed to us. It isn't hidden in some secret text or waiting for us in the distant future. The meaning of life is something we create, moment by moment, through the way we live. By practicing virtue, accepting life's challenges, cultivating gratitude, and staying present, we build a life that is rich with purpose and meaning. The Stoic path is not about grand revelations or mystical answers. It's about the small daily actions that align us with our highest selves. Life's meaning is not something we discover. It's something we shape with every choice, every breath, and every moment of mindfulness. Now, as we conclude, I encourage you to reflect on your own life. How can you bring Stoic principles into your everyday routine? How can you create meaning right now in this very moment? If you found this journey enlightening, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to Stoic Universe for more content that dives deep into Stoic philosophy, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you find meaning in life? What practices help you stay grounded? Together, let's continue this journey toward wisdom, virtue, and a life filled with meaning.